All right, welcome back to the Blissful Athlete, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Nithyananda. If you are new to the channel, today I wanted to talk a little bit about cultural appropriation, and not only just cultural appropriation, some of the claims against both my wife and I for appropriating the Hindu culture. And just wanted to touch base and acknowledge some of the things that are said to us. And a lot of people are actually kind of attacking us for our embracing of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. And something really interesting happened the other day. Not the other day, I think it was yesterday. We were made aware of a really interesting article that went public in India, and it was very interesting. I wanted to share with everybody today. I'll blow this up a bit, but it's titled "A Self-Styled White Yogini Tried to Hindu-splain Hinduism to Hindus on TikTok." So those of you who do not know, Kundalini Yogini, Ma Nithyananda, she is my wife. She and I are both on TikTok. We use that platform as well for enriching, and we have we have a lot of fun doing it. It's a different type of platform from YouTube, and so we've been going on TikTok as well, sharing, doing some enriching in that platform. And one day she did a video, and it happened to have gone not really viral. It went, I think, about 180,000 views, something like that. And so it was given a little bit of backlash. And not only this with this specific TikTok, but she's also gotten a little bit of backlash on her Instagram account as well. And then just in previous, over the years, I've also received a little bit of hate and a little bit of questioning about what it is that we're doing, and so I just wanted to acknowledge that today. I thought I haven't done a video in some time, and I just wanted to kind of acknowledge this, and just share a little bit about our experience with Sanatana Hindu Dharma and why we live this lifestyle and why we're so pro-Hindu and why this isn't cultural appropriation. But I wanted to acknowledge, I wanted to talk about this article because when things like this happen, I can't help but just laugh. Like I don't get incomplete. I don't get stressed out. I don't think, oh, all these people are like hating on us or anything like that. I kind of just can't control myself because I know my truth. I know who I am. I know to my core that this is something that is true to my heart. I'm living an authentic Hindu lifestyle. I'm not appropriating it in any way. And so I want to just talk about that. And then after this, we'll jump into a little bit of Q&A if anybody has some questions specifically for me and my personal journey with Hinduism. I'd rather focus on that today just because of today's topic. So Pure Shores, hey, thanks so much. I'll get to your comment. And Angel Cruz, you as well. Thanks for commenting live. Anybody has any questions, you can hang on to those until the end, and I'll take those live, or you can put them in there, and hopefully I don't miss them when I get to the Q&A. But okay, let's jump into this article. This is from, okay, where are we here? Let's blow it up here. A self-styled white yogini tried to Hindu-splain Hinduism to Hindus on TikTok. Okay, and this is from News 18 out of India by, I can't pronounce this name correctly, I'm sure, but Raka Mukherjee. And so this person goes on to say, when does culture appreciation become cultural appropriation? And that's a good, valid question. I agree with that. I mean, if you look at a lot of different events, I don't know if events is the best word, but big celebrations, like, for instance, I wouldn't even go as far as Bhakti Fest, but there's a lot of spiritual gatherings, let's just say, that have a lot of people that embrace certain qualities, certain clothing, certain attire, certain geometric shapes, even certain deities of Hinduism, but don't acknowledge it really. It seems like a lot of people don't acknowledge. And I've seen this a lot. You see a lot of even females, they'll put a little bit of jewelry on their third eye and don't really know what it means. And they'll go and they'll drink and they'll party, and they're not really embracing what it means to put a bindi on, to have something on your third eye. And so this certainly is a valid question, that when does cultural appreciation become cultural appropriation? So I definitely acknowledge the validity of that question. And I mean, when you look at me, and my wife, it certainly looks like we are in that same boat. But that's not the case, which is what I'm claiming. And so we'll go on, I'll read this on, and we'll get into that a little bit more. But whether it's those mandala print wall hangings with Om written on it, or elephant on furniture, or yoga, or naan bread, or chai tea, Westerners have often taken a lot, and by a lot, I mean a lot. Here's looking at you, Kohinoor, I don't know who that is, and made it their own, to the point where you can't even recognize your own culture. Well, I mean, people are allowed to celebrate chai tea. I mean, we celebrate pizza and pasta, and I think there's nothing wrong with incorporating certain things like elephants on pillows and things like that. However, when it comes to yoga, it's a little bit different as well. Yoga is a little bit more serious. I would agree that that's probably the largest global cultural appropriation that's happening, is what's happening with yoga. And I mean, you look at the beer yoga, the wine yoga, the booty yoga, the weed yoga, the goat yoga, Christian yoga, Jesus yoga, all these different forms of yoga, they're not at all acknowledging the roots of yoga. And I mean, that's a whole nother topic, but that's what everything that Nithyananda yoga is about. That's what we're all about, bringing back yoga to the original scriptures, to the source texts, which derive from the Vedic civilization, Sanatana Hindu Dharma, Hinduism. Anyways, let's look on in this article. And then she goes on to say, or he, I'm not sure. And now they're making TikTok videos about it. A self-styled white woman. So I can't even get through it. It's funny because Swamiji, our guru, people make fun of, they say self-styled God man, Nithyananda. And here, Prasida, she's almost being referred, and if she is being referred on a very similar light, self-styled yogini, self-styled white woman called Kundalini Yogini. Okay, she is white, and she's self-styled herself as Kundalini Yogini, but she has been broadcasting as a preacher or a voice for Hinduism. And I would like to just say here that yes, we are very much broadcasting and very proud to be Hindus. And I can't really stress enough how many people from India actually message me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, any one of my social media platforms, and say, you inspire me so much. You are living a much more authentic, they don't use the word authentic. You are living Hinduism more than I am. I'm learning things about Hinduism from you. They are so, a lot of people, they revere us for our passion and our love of Sanatana Dharma. And they appreciate how we embrace their culture. And we don't claim it as our own. We push all the attention back to Bharat, known as modern day India. We put all of the attention towards India. And so we're not claiming this as our own. Trust me, we get a lot of hate from Christians and various different people. I don't want to single out Christians, but we get a lot of hate from people in the West, people that just look at us and make fun of us. And that, I mean, I get it. They have every right to do that. And we look very weird in their eyes. However, it's us embracing the culture, the lifestyle of Sanatana Dharma, living it to its fullest. And so we very much are not saying that we very much are saying that we are voices for Hinduism. We are standing up for Sanatana Dharma, 1000%. I do not deny that in any way. But that's a different claim of cultural appropriation. We are not appropriating it, but we are standing up for it. Just because I'm white, just because I'm very, very white, doesn't mean anything. All I'm saying is that this is an amazing culture. It's an amazing way of life. And people should also practice it. People should enjoy it as well. I don't care whether you're white, brown, black, Indian, Mexican, whatever. I really don't care the color of somebody's skin. I don't care where they come from. Sanatana Dharma is Sanatana Dharma. You can live it wherever you are. This person goes on to say, in a video posted on TikTok, Kundalini Yogini is seen with 2 other white men dressed in what she calls traditional Hindu clothes, because they are traditional Hindu clothes. I'll show you them in a second. It's not what she calls traditional Hindu clothes. These are traditional Hindu clothes. You can type traditional Hindu clothes in Amazon and you'll purchase the same thing that we've purchased, which is traditional Hindu clothes. This is not our claim. These are just traditional Hindu clothes. My wife and I, she learned how to tie a sari the authentic way when we lived in India for 3 years. And I learned how to tie a yoga vastram, a dhoti properly. I even learned how to tie a langoti. One of my most watched videos on YouTube is how to tie a langoti properly. I taught a lot of Indians how to tie a langoti because I learned it from somebody that was practicing Malakam and a wrestler. So I was just, we're not claiming it as our own. We're not saying that this is traditional Hindu clothes. It's just, they are traditional Hindu clothes. So just to acknowledge, and maybe one day this person will watch this video and it'd be pretty cool if they would apologize for some of these claims, because I mean, we get a lot of unnecessary hate for it. Again, it's irrelevant to us, but just thought I would answer these questions anyways. To go on, their quarantine look involved dhotis, turbans, and rudraksha malas. Okay, so yes, this was her TikTok. This was her theme. There was a hashtag called my family's quarantine look. And so we had all happened to be dressed in our Vedic attire, our Hindu attire. And so she did a video on that shortly. To everybody that's tuned in and saying stuff in the comments, Nithyananda, welcome. Hey, Carolina, or Carolina, probably Carolina. Isabella, Joyce, Resonota, Vishnu, John. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. But anyway, so she did a video on this, and we were wearing certain clothes, embracing it. I've done videos on it. I'm currently wearing my Rudraksha again. There's scriptural references that say a yogi should be wearing at least 300 Rudrakshas at all time. So that's what I try and align to that. I don't always have 300 on me. I'm not perfect like that, but I really do try my best to have 300 on me at all times. So that's one thing that we incorporate. It also says that you should be applying vibhuti, all these different things. And so we embrace these traits and these qualities. Getting back to the article and where I was going with this, but this was our quarantine look. And on TikTok, if you want somebody to watch something, you got to make it interesting. You got to have music and whatnot. And I can't say that I totally agree with the song choice with Prasida and the soundtrack that she went to. Nor can I say that I totally agree with my reaction or my actions in the video. But I mean, when the camera's on you, you got to give blue steel. All the models out there will understand what I'm saying. But this person goes on to say, and Neeraj, Prasida's brother, he had a turban on. He had tied a turban on. We are actually about to go into a deep meditation process. And so we dressed up quite nicely this night. We don't always dress up that fancy, but we dressed up fancy that night. And so that's what happened. But this visual is coupled with Doja Cat's a song. It was called Boss Bitch, I guess. And I didn't know what song we were dancing to or anything like that. And the lyrics go, and this is what it says in the article. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I can't remember the exact flow, but it's like, I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. Yeah, not the best words. I don't, and on TikTok, it's very hard to find songs that align energetically to the positive field that you want to create in your ecosystem on that platform. But at the same time, it's good to use trending songs. So she chose a song, whatever. It's not the end of the world. It was really about just showing off like your fashion and being proud of how you look, basically. And she captioned the video. Again, I'm reading the article here. She captioned the video, "Not what you'd expect. We are attending an online spiritual program based in India." Yes, that's what happened. And it wasn't what you expect. You did not expect 3 white people, one really white person, to be dressed in Hindu attire. However, what people didn't realize, and what she was maybe, we don't need to explain ourselves every video. What people didn't realize is that we are embracing Sanatana Dharma. We are embracing Hinduism. This is what our guru's mission is to revive Hinduism. So we're very proud of the qualities of Sanatana Dharma, that lifestyle. And we've experienced so much positive outcomes, so many positive outcomes from embracing that. In the article, they say, but that's not the highlight of the video. The comments are. And of course, comments are always fun. Okay, we got the video here. Maybe we can play this. Hopefully everybody can see this. I don't know if you'll get the lyrics or not, but "My family's quarantine look." This is my blue steel look. Niraja and Padmasan. Could you guys see that in the comments? I think you guys were able to see that. It might have been a little bit choppy, but so that was the video. That was the TikTok video. Went a little bit viral. A lot of people, a little bit of backlash, thinking that's not what like we're cultural appropriating. This girl says, "What is happening?" She probably is not Hindu at all. I don't know if she is or not. But anyways, so this person says, "What is happening?" You look at the comments. This person says, "I'm Hindu and we don't walk around wearing that." Valid. I would say that means there's a lot of people in India, first of all, that wear nice collared shirts, golf shirts, jeans. Yeah. You could be claiming yourself as Hindu, but when did Hindus ever wear jeans? When in the Vedic civilization were jeans a fashion? They weren't. That's a part of the brainwashing that the British instilled on Indian culture. So really the victims are Indians that are looking at us saying we're culturally appropriating, and they're not even embracing their own culture. They're wearing jeans. It's just funny, really. But anyway, so Priscilla goes, "Most people don't actively practice or embrace their religion. This is the traditional dress." Yes. That's kind of irrelevant. But you are the colonizers. So this is the question. Are we really the colonizers? No. No. I am so not a colonizer. I'm like doing the work that everybody should be doing, almost like saying sorry for what we did to your beautiful culture. It's like, hey, we're much more mature now. We're more conscious of what we did in the past. I'm speaking for those of the British people. Obviously, it looks like I have British descent in me somewhere. But we're here to represent Sanatana Dharma, to revive it, to invigorate it, and to share it and spread it with the world. We are not a part of the colonization of it. Anyways, to go on to the rest of this article, "I've grown up and lived in India and never seen anyone walking around the streets wearing what this yogini calls traditional dress." I mean, this person is probably from maybe Mumbai or Delhi, and is grown up in a very rich family and does not get out much then, because what they're saying is quite ridiculous. Women wear saris all over the place in India. I mean, men wear dhotis all over the place. There's millions of people that have turbans on. So what they're saying is kind of just a little bit ridiculous. And I think they're just trying to take a shot at us because they feel that we're cultural appropriating, which isn't the case, obviously. What Kundalini Yogini does is appropriation, mockery, and it's hardly different from the mindset of colonizers, the idea of I know better. I understand where they're coming from, again, because they don't know us and they don't know our background, that, or maybe they do understand that we lived in India now, but in a sense, I do know better if I'm getting people that message me on various different social media platforms and say, you're teaching me so much about my culture. I'm learning so much about Hinduism from you. I get people saying, I'm embarrassed that I don't understand Hinduism. I don't know how to do puja, and you do. Can you teach me? This isn't about me being better. I do know more than some people. I know a fraction compared to a lot of people, to a lot of, serious Hindus. So this isn't about us claiming that we're better. This is about us seeing something incredible and saying, hey, everybody, come look at this. We're starting to incorporate this into our life. We want to embrace this more for ourselves and in our culture. And we feel that you guys might benefit as well. That's what this is about. It is not about appropriating it. It is not about saying that we are better in any way. Now, again, Priscilla and I both know quite a bit with certain things. And so we do educate anybody that comes to us. And like I said, a lot of people, like this person that wrote the article, live in India, and we do teach them things. And I think that they do appreciate it. This person goes on to say, it's 2020 and we have come a long, long way from the idea exotic East. We are not the land of snake charmers and Maharajas. Nope. Yeah, I think we have come a long way from that concept of exotic East. And I don't think, again, we're not trying to sell you guys junk and steal your gold. I think there's still people in India that are doing that to you yourselves, but that's another topic. And honestly, if I wanted to know more about my religion, I would read textbooks. Okay, so that's fine. Don't follow us. Don't embrace your religion then. That's fine. You do your own thing. And there are plenty of books. I agree. What I would not do is take advice from a white woman who tells me to recite a mantra to get rid of evils. Okay, so there's three different types of teachers, specifically yoga teachers. There's those that are pundits, scholars that teach only from texts. There are those that have an experience and teach only from their experience. And then there are those that have an experience and can relate the teachings that they are passing on to these texts. You should only learn from those beings. This is what my guru says. You should only learn from, very rare are the third category says, but you should only learn from those beings that have a personal experience and relate everything to the pramanas, the scriptural references. Prasida and I are ordained Nithyananda Yoga Acharyas. We both have a lot of experiences, and we can and do correlate all of our teachings as our guru has instructed us, as he does, to various different scriptural references. And you can look anywhere on my channel, whether it's the Rudraksha beads, chakras, anything, any topic, I relate everything back to scriptural references. So it's not us teaching you how to get rid of evils. I don't know if Prasida's ever done that. I don't think I have. But but yes, like there's some mantras that I could probably talk about and just relate it back to scriptures, and that's all I'm doing. So it's not me teaching anything ever. If you ever come to this channel and you see me teaching something, I want you to know what makes me different than any other yoga teacher out there is that I will claim to only source back to pramanas, scriptural references, the enlightened sages, rishis, masters, Shiva himself, my guru. I will relate everything back to one of those references and then give my Sakshi Pramana, my personal experience. And that's something that both Prasid and I do. And then this is, I don't know why this person put this Twitter feed of what Prasid said, but I'll read it out. Any identity you believe about yourself that is less than you, being God, is low self-esteem because you are God. I love that quote. It's true. It's so spot on. And I think I'm so blessed that our guru has infused that into us. So, so with that, that's basically what this whole cultural appropriation thing really stemmed from. That this is all, you know, we're just cultural appropriating it. And I mean, we're quite proud actually to say that when somebody says we have dreadlocks, we go, no, they're called jatas. And we wear these jatas because that's what the ancient yogis do. It says in scriptures to have jatas. Even when you do puja, you're supposed to tie your jatas up on your sahasrara. When you do any Hindu ritual, you're supposed to have jatas tied up. If you don't have jatas, you should have shaved head. If you have shaved head, you should not have jatas. There's scriptural references for all of these. And so that's why we wear them as Shaivites. We are practicing Shaivites. So that's why we do it for. So yeah. With that, I'll close this this article up. If you guys want to see the article, maybe I'll share it in the chat box. You guys can check it out. I don't know if you really want to or not, but it's there. And then just to quickly look, cultural appropriation, the definition: the unacknowledged or inappropriate adoption of the customs, practices, ideas, etc., of one people or society by members of another, and typically more dominant people or society. So in a sense, Westerners can be seen as a dominant culture and society. I would disagree as far as, I mean, I would feel blessed to be raised and born in India, but we do not, we acknowledge everything that we practice and everything that we do and live to Sanatana Dharma. We do not say that these are our own ideas. We do not do anything inappropriate with these practices. The only thing inappropriate was that dance that I did. And it was more of a strut. And it was a good execution of blue steel. But all those jokes aside, we love and embrace Hinduism to the fullest. We really are very proud Hindus. If we did, and by any way, upset anybody with that, that's not our intention ever. We are only here to share and spread Sanatana Dharma. So, I mean, with that, I mean, like I said before, I just laugh at this, that, you know, that we're cultural appropriating this. It's just not the truth at all. So yeah, if you guys want to read that article on your own, you can. The other thing that I was going to talk about today is this idea of being brainwashed. It's kind of just back to back. We got accused of cultural appropriating and then also being brainwashed. And so I thought I would just acknowledge that a little bit too. Sanatana Dharma is the greatest blessing that ever happened to me. When I first had my spiritual awakening, it was back in 2013, end of 2013. I started to realize what everybody else today is realizing, that we live in a very corrupt society. A lot of crooked, disgusting things happen in our world. 800,000 kids, children, 800,000 children just in the US alone go missing every year. Think about that. 800,000 kids, children, I should say, go missing every year just in the US alone. This is not by accident. Like, there's a legitimate structure for pedophiles and the world's elite that take advantage of these young souls. What I realized at the end of 2013 was extremely scary. And today the plan is starting to unfold. People are starting to get more worried, and it is quite scary if you only focus on certain things. Now, the ultimate reality that I didn't learn until the beginning of 2014 was that we are in a spiritual war. This is a spiritual war that we're in. Everybody wants you to focus and keep your eye on the forced vaccinations and all this fear with coronavirus, and there's going to be mass arrests or martial law, all this. Just focus on all this stuff, when in reality, all that you need to focus on is the truth that you are eternally blissful. You are pure consciousness. And what I mean by that is your true reality, your true identity is what they don't want you to discover. Yes, I really do believe that there's a spiritual war going on against us all, and it's against our expansion of consciousness, against our ability to achieve the ultimate. Those that are in power want to stay in power, and they want us to stay as workers, and they want us to be just little worker ants, right? The true identity of ourselves is eternal consciousness. I've experienced super consciousness outside of my body. I've experienced enlightenment. I've experienced samadhi. I've experienced satori, all by the grace of my guru. Kundalini awakened, third eye awakened, all of this by the grace of my guru. And it would not have happened if I did not turn my attention and my awareness from what's going on outside in this world with all the fear and panic towards the inside, and focus on myself, focus on my spiritual growth, focus on my individual consciousness. Until I did that, I was living in so much fear. It was I was extremely depressed, extremely fearful, beyond words. And that's exactly what is happening in today's world. However, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And this is what modern science is proving us. Modern science, not even modern, in the early 1920s, or it might have been before the 1920s, Max Planck, I got a quote from him. All matter, this is a physicist, one of the world's greatest physicists, a Nobel Prize winner. All matter originates and exists only by virtue of a force which brings the particle of an atom to vibration and holds this most minute solar system of the atom together. We must assume behind this force the existence of a conscious and intelligent mind. This mind is the matrix of all matter. Beneath all matter, there's an eternal ocean of consciousness that pervades you. It is you. You are that consciousness. The purpose of our reality is to tap into that and create that within ourselves. Every master that has come before us, whether it was Jesus, Buddha, the enlightened rishis, sages, my guru, the avatar, his divine holiness, Paramahamsa Nithyananda, Paramahamsa Yogananda, every master that has come before us is teaching us the same thing. You are eternal consciousness. Tap into that. That is your true self. Drop all this other crap. To say that I am brainwashed because I believe in this science is ridiculous. It's a science that everything is consciousness. That is a science. You cannot deny this science. It is the truth. Everything has consciousness, whether it's a plant or a rock or somebody as stupid as you know who, some of you. Everything is consciousness. Now, to have the audacity to say that you can achieve enlightenment on your own is a very bold statement when you have no clue how to actually do that. You know a little bit about meditation. You've learned a little bit about yoga. I could give you so many scriptural references about how you need to have a guru's guidance. Guru is Shiva. Guru is that eternal consciousness. They're the ones to guide you out of this matrix reality. Guru is your guide. He or she is the one that will remove the darkness, show you the light. For somebody that practices a different religion now, there's somebody that used to practice Sanatana Hindu Dharma. I'll just say her name. She just called us out again. But Sarah Landry, she used to practice Sanatana Dharma. She is a practicing Christian now. For her to say that we are brainwashed and we're practicing a different religion than her is ridiculous. Now we're talking, this is a completely different conversation. If somebody was, let's say, unbiased, not practicing any religion, and said that, then we can have a dialogue. But if for somebody that's practicing a different religion to say that we are not, or that we are brainwashed, is completely ridiculous. You could say that about any other religion. And now we're drawing a line where we have to start respecting other people's beliefs. We have to start respecting other people's ways of life. Okay? So for me to acknowledge that somebody's even calling me brainwashed, I'm so tired of it, really. I really am, because you just don't understand the depth of the science, first and foremost. And then the to have the audacity to say that you can achieve self-realization on your own is just such a heavy statement. Such a heavy statement. If somebody cannot change their body type, for instance, let's say somebody's overweight, and let's say she is middle-aged and she just becomes more and more overweight. If she cannot change her body to become young, powerful, healthy, how could they say that they will achieve enlightenment or self-realization if they can't even alter the matter of the vehicle that they operate? So the whole brainwashing thing is really a shot against the culture and the lifestyle of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. One, I just kind of laugh at these things again, and it's like, it's unfortunate, but what to do? I really do pray and hope that people understand and support the fact that, or not even support, but just acknowledge that they don't truly understand certain things about Sanatana Hindu Dharma. And again, I know I get a lot of hate from Christians and different people from different religious backgrounds, and I have nothing against Christianity. I have a lot of friends that are practicing Christians. I love them. I studied Christianity. I learned about all these different religions. The one that called true to me, the only one that gave a true breakthrough for me, was Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and in particular, my guru, Bhagavan Nithyananda. So that's why I follow him. That's why he is my guru. Again, if you guys didn't know the story, where I'm in Alaska, and on the opposite side of the world, he is in India. It was actually a YouTube video. It wasn't even a live video. On a YouTube video, I'm in Alaska, and I watched this YouTube video, and he he guides me into a meditation, the first video I've ever watched of his. And all of a sudden it was like my consciousness just exited out of my body. And I was just like hovering in this completely mindless state. It was beyond description. I wasn't in a brainwashing process. I wasn't being hypnotized or anything. It was me experiencing myself fuller. It's tough to describe, but my identity went just beyond this being to here. And I felt that there was more that I could be larger. It was absolutely incredible. That was my very first experience through a YouTube video. So for somebody to say that he's brainwashing me and he's doing all these things, it's just ridiculous. I have nothing to say to that anymore. It's kind of funny. So I'm going to just go through some of the comments here. If you guys are making new comments, I noticed that there's a ton. I'll start to scroll through them all. And we'll see if I can get through them. And that's a good question right away by Joyce. Love your channel. How do you respond to allegations against your guru, all the people speaking out? So I lived with Swamiji for 3 years. I was his personal bodyguard. The things that are being said about him, I just know that they're not true because I would have had to have seen some of these things happen. I would have been there. Now, naturally, I wasn't there with him 24/7 all the time. So certainly, like, technically something could have happened, but it's just like, you know that it's not true. I know that it's not true. I know that I have a hand. I know that a lot of these allegations are ridiculous. Some of these allegations were against us. People being beaten, that was an allegation against me. I was an acharya. I was with the Balasants. So if somebody's saying that people were beaten, I would have had to have been there. I wouldn't. So it's an allegation against me. So all this other stuff that comes up, it's just, there's really nothing to be said. It's just, I know my experience. He's given me the experience of enlightenment. He has given me the experience of super consciousness. I know my Kundalini is awakened. I know my third eye is awakened. You can't tell me he's a fake guru or he's brainwashing. It's just, all these allegations are just, they're hearsay. It really doesn't matter. And I know that's difficult for people that maybe haven't met my guru in person or have not yet had an experience with him. And all I can say is, I truly do hold that space and bless you to have some of the same experiences that I have had. You just have to be true to what you're feeling and what you're experiencing, because that is your compass. That is your guide. Thank you, Greg. Joyce, good question. Yeah, pasta, there's your Canadian coming out. Pure Shore says he got called a terrorist when he was wearing a bindi. Crazy. Vishnu saying, don't even try to convince haters. I agree. I mean, I'm not here to convince haters. I am here for people that ask those questions, like how do you work your way through some of this stuff where people are, maybe calling you out, making fun of you, making slanderous comments against your guru, etc. Kali, I agree. I get this. Pull it up. I get it. It's not every day one sees this sort of attire. And yes, cultural appropriation is real, but this person not aware that there are Indians who dress like this from the ashram like you. I mean, you can go anywhere in India and see the various different saris and dhotis and vastrams. So their article was extremely biased against us. And just like the rest of the mainstream narrative is against Hindus in India, the Indian media is the most corrupt media. You think American media is bad? If you guys have never lived in India, oh my goodness, their media there is so crazy. So crazy. It's just ridiculous how much propaganda that they push in India. So I agree, Kali. Spiritual Solutions. My brother. Hey, bro. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing great, guys. Nithyanandam Sri Pavanan. Nithyanandam, everybody. Shula, Nithyanandam. Joy says, you both inspire me. Not a believer, but I am inspired by your dedication to life and health. Thank you, Joyce. Yeah, Radha's saying on that TikTok video, you guys were attending online program in India, so you were supposed to wear Indian clothes. It was clearly mentioned in the captions of our TikTok video. Exactly. Mr. Beefy, love you, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. Thanks, brother. Love you too. Pavanas, yep. Shula, I opened a TikTok account. Awesome. Tag me. Anybody else got TikTok? Give Shula a follow. I hate jeans. I hate jeans too. Oh my goodness. I really do hate jeans. I could never wear a pair of jeans again in my life. I guess of Stormwind. Thank you so much for the $2 donation. You didn't have to do that. Jason, much love to you as well. Sorry, guys, just trying to make my way through the comments. Well, we enjoy both cultures. Well, we enjoy the best of both cultures. We can wear whatever we want. At home, people would wear traditional and Western outside and formal. Absolutely, man. And anybody can wear whatever they want. This isn't about, one. I mean, in my opinion, there is one better. That one way of dressing is better. Energetically, wearing a sari and a yoga vastram is designed in such a way for a purpose. So without getting too much into that, I would say that it's better to wear a dhoti or yoga vastram over a pair of jeans. But I mean, anybody can wear whatever they want. I agree. And I agree with you, Carolina. Why those people don't even mention about the yoga studios where they don't pay respect to Bharat, and it seems that yoga is just to earn money. This is cultural appropriation. Not even that. Like, there's a few forms of yoga out there. I'm not going to say their names, but they say yoga without the spirituality. And it's just like, that ain't yoga then. You're just stretching. So there's nothing to be said about that. Arnold saying there's no such thing as intergenerational or hereditary guilt. Don't apologize if you don't have anything wrong. Cultural appropriation, an idiotic notion. Wear whatever the hell you want. Tatasto. Ooh, I like this quote, Radha. Thanks for sharing that. I am not against modernization. I am against westernization. Swamiji said that. Cody Thompson, I appreciate that truth and honesty here. As one that's argued with you about Nithyananda many times, I'll say, no, you're not appropriating. I appreciate that. I appreciate the truth and love. Much respect, Cody. Any specific questions here for me? Do you agree? Our bodies are immortal. Our bodies are not immortal. That also depends on which body you're referring to. Let's just, for the sake of this question, that you're referring to this physical body is not immortal. We do have other layers of our bodies, but this physical body, this kosha, this sheath, is not immortal. But our consciousness is eternal. It does not have a birth nor death. So we are immortal, though, yes. Pavanananda, thank you. I was studying in the Gurukul and I have never experienced anything as such. Thank you very much, Maharaj, for sharing that. Another question. Do you agree? It can be this year, last reincarnation of all creatures. I'm not sure I'm following that exactly. If I'm following your question, I would say that there's still a lot of beings that have to take a lot of different births. I think one of the notions in this new age movement of spirituality is that all of a sudden we're all just going to start to melt into light bodies. And this was something that I would say I was brainwashed into that belief, which is false, that we're going to just merge into eternal consciousness or by transmuting into like a light body. That's not how it's going to happen at all. It's going to take there's going to be a long process for us to actually become liberated. For not everybody, for most beings, I would say. So there is still a long time for some beings to get to that state. Messy Jesse, you guys are super authentic. Thanks, Jesse. Cody Thompson, blissful athlete is a practicing sadhaka and is not appropriating any such shadows. Thank you. Priscilla always tells me not to acknowledge these comments, but I can't help it. I really you could just see my reaction. I really don't care. Sunny Dunn, what do you got, buddy? You are a disgrace to Hinduism. No logical or intellectual Indian or Hindu takes you seriously. Please cross-check the scriptures on your own to know if you are following Sanatana Dharma right. Just for anybody that's watching this and seeing this, this is a daily. We get certain things like this. Maybe not as ridiculous as what Sunny Dia is saying. But I mean, this one's pretty high up there. Surely I'm not a disgrace to Hinduism. Surely many intellectual Indians do take me seriously. And surely I do cross-check a lot of scriptures. I'm actually a part of a lot of different projects that are reviving various different scriptures. So comments like that, it's just like you just laugh at them. Any actual questions? I'm nearing the bottom here. Edwin, haters are actually hating themselves. They feel these things about themselves and can't handle the guilt. I would agree. Cody Thompson, 2 random topics I'd like to hear take on and you get a moment. Dwarka being uncovered and then ignored by governments, and then Gobelaki Tepe and the implications it holds. I can't speak on the second one. The first one, Dwarka being discovered. For those that don't know, I did a video on this not too long ago, actually, about the city of Dwarka being discovered off the shore of Gujarat. Very interesting. A lot of different evidences, carbon dating, proving that this city was there at least 6,000 BCE. And they even did some carbon dating and found some things that were under the water that were carbon dated back to 9,000 BCE. So this city, Dwarka, stone city, existed. Dwarka, Krishna's city that he built, exists underneath the shore or underneath the water off the shore of Gujarat in India. And yes, it's covered up. It's like people don't realize that city was discovered a long time ago. I mean, I can't remember the exact details, but I believe it was National Geographic bought all of the rights to all of the footage. So the people that discovered this city, they wanted to get it out there. And they had all this footage, this underground footage and everything. And so National Geographic came in and they bought all of this footage and said they were going to publish it. And then they just didn't publish it. And the people that originally found it, they couldn't do anything about it because they sold the rights to National Geographic. So this is a part of this mass cover-up of who we are, our true history. There was an enlightened civilization that existed. A civilization smart enough to create cities from stone in such a manner that we are still not able to create to this day. My brother works in construction. And he's like, I don't know how that's possible. They did things that were unfathomable. So thanks for bringing that up, Cody. Srinitya Pavanananda is saying Nithyananda Gurukul is an amazing place. In the Gurukul, I got the chance to learn puja homas and even more. I can't believe such accusations are being thrown on the guru who gave me so much. Agreed. I mean, we've both been there. I obviously I know who you are, Pavanananda. I look forward to seeing you again. But yeah, even that's where I learned how to practice authentic pujas. I never learned how to do homas or anything like that, but my chanting, everything, I'm so grateful for the time that I spent in the ashram, and I really can't wait to go back again. Cody Thompson. It's clear, even if you ain't a Nithyananda Bhakti, it's clear as day there's social corruption here. Yeah. Spiritual solutions. I'm not following exactly what you're saying. I'm almost down at the bottom here. So if you guys have any last questions, leave them there. If not, I'll just end the session. Okay. Hope everybody's staying healthy, by the way, during this coronavirus lockdown. Healthy mentally, I would say first, and then physically. Joyce, you are blessed to be born and raised in Canada. Say as an American, now blessed to be living here. Yes. I feel blessed. I'm blessed to have traveled to so many different places. Hit that like button, says 1311. I'll leave that up. You guys haven't liked the video, if you're new to the channel, click thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell icon, all that YouTube stuff. Hit me up on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Hit the share button. Bobby, I'll answer this. Have I ever been called to Nithyananda's room before? Yes. I have. I've been in his room multiple times. I'm extremely blessed to have been in his space, in such a personal space with him. A little inside story for those that have stayed on. When the Pratama Vinyasa Krama was first being revealed, Swamiji was testing it on his yoga team, and that included me and a couple other people. And when the Pratama Vinyasa Krama was being tested on us, we went into his personal room, and we performed the yoga sequence right in front of him, and he watched us from just a few feet away, and he was just assessing the sequence and seeing how actually operated the body, and he ended it. It was just like perfect. That was one of those moments in his personal room. So yes, I've been in there, not just one occasion, many occasions. Extremely blessed to have had that experience. I hope I didn't miss anything. Question: What does Guru say about this pandemic? I can't remember the exact words about this pandemic that he has stated. He does feel that, I don't even want to try and paraphrase it, to be honest. Like he feels that this is corrupt in nature, I would say. And this isn't even a paraphrase. This is just me summing up, but he feels that it is corrupt in nature, and that it is attack on humanity, and that it will be saved and is saved only due to Paramashiva's grace. It will be saved, meaning the human beings that are being attacked. So it's unfortunate what's happening. And he is saying it's an attack by dark entities against human beings, good human beings. Cody Thompson, thank you for going through all these, man. Good engagement. Hey, you're welcome. Appreciate it, Cody. Almost at the bottom. His old faith of Slavic land was mostly destroyed. Hinduism seems closest to its core. I can't really speak on that, Isabella, but yeah, I certainly would agree with that. And the last thing here, Cody's saying, but yeah, Gobekli Tepe is definitely a topic you'll find interesting, just like Dwarka rewrites our history books. All right, I'll have to look into that. Thanks, Cody. Okay, everybody. So with that, I'll end this session. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you did tune in live, I really got to make sure I try and do this more. It's been fun sharing this content with everybody. Kind of just speaking my truth and speaking from the heart for both Priscilla and I. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Leave in the comment section if you have any questions or something you want me to do a specific video on. I'll still take those. I am, like I said, trying to use TikTok to do a little bit more shorter answers. So if you have a shorter question, maybe I can answer it there. But I'll try and do my best to also do some videos on YouTube more. So thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. And yeah, we'll see you guys in future videos. Nithyananda, I just saw this comment. I heard somewhere on YouTube that Dwarka was dated to 35,000. That'd be crazy if it is. I don't know if that is true or not. We could all look that up though. But I know that there's carbon dating that's gone back to at least 6,000 and I think 9,000 years. So thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you guys on future videos. As always, be blissful and Nithyananda. Close with Poto mantra here. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Aridi Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavat Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Paduka Paramastu. Om Nithyanandam. Nithyanandam, everybody. Have an awesome day. Stay healthy, safe for both you and your family. Be blissful.